Honorable Member of Parliament, Dr. Babu, and the person who have taken so much effort to inaugurate, to organize this program, Dr. S. Babu, and other dignitaries. I am very thankful for inviting me to be a chief guest on this occasion, and also of our Deputy Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh explained what are the problems faced by this Andhra Pradesh, because it is a coastal, this is a very long coastal, near more than 900 kilometers, that is a long coastal thing. Whenever these storms and everything coming, this northeast monsoon wind starts, the problem starts. Not only it's Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu also, in Orissa, and all the places how the states have explained everything. And also how the government of Andhra Pradesh has taken so many measures to face this problem, this disaster management when they are facing. It's a natural this kind of disaster management. When it comes, these three states are suffering a lot. And also, this is a high time to have discussed all those things here. For that, only this Third World Conference on Disaster Management has been organized by the organizers. The central theme of this year's Congress on Disaster Management is building the resilience for sustainable development, and is very significant subject considering the magnitude of destruction that follows each calamity. The theme of this year is aligned with the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which recognizes and reaffirms the urgent need to reduce the risk of disasters across the globe. The discussions and interactions which will ensue in this conference will help promote networking and forging partnerships between national governments, scientific organizations, academia, and industry, and facilitate them on the issues for building disaster resilience across various sectors of human development. I wish and hope this scholarly engagement between the scientists, researchers, policymakers, and practitioners will help strengthen a strategy which will serve as an action plan for meeting the challenges of disaster management at the local, national, and global platforms. Already our previous speaker explained how the local level we have to take so much measures, not only the national level, district level, or not state level, even the village level also explained what are the measures we have to take to tackle this disaster management. I also wholeheartedly appreciate the initiatives taken by the Congress for the interactive plenary and thematic sessions, which have been envisaged over the next 4 days as a part of this year's conference. Looking at the national disasters over the last decade, that is from 2005 to 2016, we find that China, United States, Philippines, and Indonesia have been India have been the top 5 countries that are mostly frequently hit by the natural disasters. This is an important signal for us to have a comprehensive strategy on disaster management, and is very pertinent that this Congress has taken this subject for detailed scrutiny this year by inviting a galaxy of leaders here we are having here. Some of the devastating calamities in India from the recent memory are the massive 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and the resultant tsunami Gujarat floods in 2005, Ladakh flash floods in 2010, in Brahmaputra floods in 2012, Uttarakhand floods in 2013, Kashmir floods in 2014, forest fires in Uttarakhand in 2014, Cyclone Varda in Tamil Nadu 2016. Like that, I can go on describe so many things took place in India and Bangladesh also. I think they are more susceptible for this kind of disasters. We know that. I also once visited your Bangladesh when I was central minister at surface transport. That is 98, 99 at the time. Visited where long bridges opened on that day. Where present Prime Minister same at that time. She gave that. At that time, since what are the calamities you are facing and how you are taking measures to overcome that. This know that I thought. And also Nepal also explained how the neighboring countries is suffering a lot and they are overcoming the disaster management. Our traditional response in any disaster has been to provide relief with a series of ad hoc actions to control damage after a disaster has struck. However, rescue and relief cannot remain ad hoc actions but have to be a systematic and well planned. This will require large-scale planning and adherence to standard operating procedures. If effective systems could be put in place at the national, state, district, municipality and panchayat levels, many lives can be saved and economic damages can be also reduced. In the past, techniques in management disaster were restricted largely to the post-disaster relief work, and hence a large majority of us think that disaster management is just a means of helping the people after a disaster has occurred. This is what we are feeling. That is not correct. But in the contemporary parlance, disaster management ought to be connected with pre-disaster and post-disaster activities, taking into account all preventive, mitigative, and reconstruction activities concerned with any calamity. Therefore, this is a very necessary thing, important to widen the ambit to include a multi-pronged approach to the managing disasters by integrating the viewpoints of multilateral and regional bodies and consult policymakers for frequent affected countries in the least developed and developed regions of the world. Here I appreciate the efforts of the organizers in conducting this mega event and trying to have the viewpoints all concerned. Managing disaster for any country is a development issue and adequate efforts need to be taken for management of the same. Any disaster needs to be addressed based on the long-term impact on the economy, and suitable funds must be designed based on the risk assessment. The approach towards disaster management, despite the government's best intentions, has not been able to adequately forecast calamities, nor have it helped in containing the damage by them, and as a result is continuously inflicting harm physically, environmentally, socially, economically, and emotionally. And that is why we need to evolve a more widespread and comprehensive network involving several multilateral global approaches to the champion disaster risk management. India is a global leader in technology. However, despite such substantial scientific and material progress, the loss of lives and property due to disaster have not been abated. This means we have not been able to leverage the power of technology in forecasting and relief measures to mitigate the disasters. We, therefore, have to bring about a paradigm shift in our approach to disaster management from being relief-centric to one with greater emphasis on preparedness, prevention, mitigation, and reconstruction. This approach to disaster management is based on the understanding that development cannot be sustained unless disaster mitigation is embedded in the development process. Before that, I want to say certain things. Our Professor, Madam, Professor Amita Singh said, what are the contributions they are getting for the research projects? This has become because most of the academic institutions wanted to concentrate on research. So the government is also insisting, University Grants Commission also insisting, and various agencies, that is technical agencies conducting this like medical, MCI, AICT, like that, so many organizations are insisting research. But at the same time, as she said, they may not in a position to get the sufficient funds. Whatever they are getting, mere amount, that may be used for administrative purpose or some small things. Afterwards, taking that project is very difficult. That's why I can understand that. I was also a professor once. I was teaching in Gindi Engineering College. It is a reputed institute, you know that, Anna University. Then only I resigned and entered in politics. Before that, I was also an academician teaching that. I know the difficulties, what are the universities facing, the institution is facing, and other bodies are facing. In spite of that, embassies given and the research, but the fund is the mere problem. Most of the institutes are facing that. Because you know that India is taking all the efforts, and the present government also taking more interest to concentrate on more research and get the fruits out of that research to develop the nation and to solve the problems what we are facing now. Today also our Honorable Prime Minister came to Chennai and he promised to our Tamil Nadu government what now we are facing because of the heavy rain, some floods took place, but that he also promised to give the help to rehabilitate whatever we are facing. See what I am telling, government is taking the efforts, but the magnitude what we are facing is difficult. Therefore, we are making the natural calamities also, the man-made calamities also there, especially this pollution. That is a more dangerous thing what other things what we are seeing other calamities. That is the most disaster, that kind of management. That is what Prime Minister said, Swachh Bharat scheme, what he said, because of that only. See, most of the, especially when the cities are developing, the diseases are also developing. Therefore, that kind of management is more important. There were so many organizations such as the institution, they said so many doctors are producing to help the people. It's a good suggestion. Good what they are effective, we are appreciating that because such kind of effort is more important to save the human disasters. That is what we are expecting. In conclusion, I want to highlight the point that all of us need to work in close coordination to evolve a unified and concerned response mechanism which will ensure that not all hazards manifest into the becoming destructive disasters. With better planning, preparedness, and mitigation measures by governments, we can collectively reduce the impact of disasters for our people. Foster sustainable and more inclusive growth, as envisaged in our 12th five-year plan, can be achieved only if our administrators, policy makers, citizens make dedicated effort in safeguarding our future of our subsequent generation. And also, I always used to think that most of our rivers are polluted nowadays. Our forefathers protected the rivers and given the drinking water to us, especially for developing countries. The Western countries is different, but what our countries facing, a lot of from Asian countries, others, all rivers are polluted. That is the more disastrous what we are facing that. We don't know how to get the drinking water is the problem is going to face. That kind of, that pollution, how to avoid the pollution. how to control the all industries and other affluents, not to, it will be go to the rivers and polluting that. That is what we are, that is human management, that is human disaster, what's a human making disaster, it's what we are facing now. There's more thing we have to think it how to save the human life from this kind of pollution. Not only, that is why there is so many conventions that took place, how to control this, this kind of pollutions, that kind of disasters, that thing. Here, I would like to wholeheartedly appreciate the efforts taken by the World Disaster Management Congress in this direction. And I hope that this Congress will dwell at the length all these parameters and thrash out the issues threadbare in the plenary and other sessions spread over the next 4 days and come up with optimal solution for the perennial problem that is plaguing India, not only India, other countries also each year. I hope that the Congress will, this Congress will succeed in that. And also thank for the organizers inviting me to be a chief guest and share certain views with you. Thank you very much.
Good evening.